Hi, this is Bob Price. I'm going to share some things that I use that help me with my intuition and how I use it to work with the tarot. I'm going to give you some examples. You know what? You won't find these anywhere else. Only here, same channel here. Because this is some stuff that I'm going to show you that's unique to me and my background. But I think you're going to find it interesting, some of the things I'm going to show you. So I hope that you find that to be true. And thank you for taking a minute to watch my video. Okay, first off, I want to talk to you about Johares window. I'm sure I don't know if you've heard of Johares window. When I was in school, I took classes to learn to be a paraprofessional counselor. So I took a lot of psychology classes, and I'm going to show you what Johares window is and how you can use it to harvest your intuition. So over here in this quadrant here, this is the unknown. I'm putting that in so you can read it. See the unknown. And this is part here that you and others. We're going to go over what that means. And then this is you over here, and this is unknown. Now these quadrants are not necessarily in this position, but it doesn't really matter because this is going to help you with your intuition and you're going to understand how the tarot can help you if someone reads a tarot for you, or you read it for yourself, how this can help you to understand this window. This quadrant up in here, this one right here, this quadrant, this is the part of you that you don't know about and other people don't know about either. It's the unknown part of yourself. An example of that is you may be afraid of heights, but you've never been to the top of a really high building. So were not aware that you would be afraid of heights, but you went on a trip with your workmates and you went to New York City and everybody was excited, and you went to the top of the Empire State Building and you found out, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid. I feel like and you start shaking because you didn't know that you had a fear of heights. And other people that were with you didn't know you had a fear of heights either. Both of you learned that at the same time. That's the unknown. That's something that you don't know about yourself and others don't know either. Now this one here, this one right here, is something that you know and others know also. For example, maybe you don't like fish, and other people know that they better not try to talk you into eating fish because you do not like fish. So they know about that, and you know about that. Now here, let's say I put unknown, but this should be really others. Okay, I crossed that out. This here is things that other people know about you that you don't know about yourself. For example, Maybe when you're lying about something, your eye starts twitching and they can see that and they know, I don't know if that person's telling me the truth. They know that about you because every time you get nervous and you start lying about something, that you start having your eye twitch. So that's something in poker that they call a tell. It's something that the person does that they're not aware of, that they do, that reveals something about them. Now this here is something that only you know, that other people don't know. Maybe you know that I don't like to get in front of people and give talks or stuff because it's terrifying to me. And other people don't know that about you because you're able to pretend that you know you're real sociable at work, but inside you're really scared whenever you have to give a talk or something, or you have to present yourself in front of your other people you work with. That's an example of that. Okay, now. So now we're going to talk about intuition. So intuition and the tarot will help you to increase your knowledge. It helps you to increase your knowledge about yourself. Either you reading yourself or you have another person that reads for you. It will help you to be able to understand yourself better. Maybe they'll point out something that you're afraid to make decisions, that you're afraid to take risk. They point that out to you, and it's something that they were able to see in the cards, and you knew this, but you didn't want to deal with it because it was just something that made you nervous every time you thought about it. So through working with them, they're able to help you to be able to realize, I need to get past this so that I'm not afraid anymore by that. Now this one here, others, that's something that other people know that you don't know. Now the tarot will also reveal that to you. It may show you that you're going to be getting in this situation, but you're going to be afraid in this situation. Now other people know that when you get in a certain situation, like when they've tried to get you to go to maybe some of the work activities, it makes you nervous to do that, so you don't like to go and you always make an excuse. I have a headache, or I've got too much work to do to go to the meeting. But if you had a tarot reading, it may tell you need to increase your sociability. This is something that your guides want you to do so that you can branch out and improve yourself. As you get to know more people, then you're going to open yourself up to new positions that you wouldn't have been able to maybe get to without that. Now this is real interesting, the unknown. Something that you don't know, something they don't know. But if you have a tarot reading, the thing about the tarot and your guides is they do know this. They know this quadrant. They know things about you. They know that maybe something is coming up, that something in the next few weeks is going to be stressful, and they warn you that you need to be prepared. So this is the unknown, but by having that tarot reading, it helps you to be able to be prepared for that. And this right here is you and others. You might be aware of something like other people know you're aware of that you have that situation, and you have that situation. Maybe you get really impatient really easy, and it doesn't take much to push you over the edge. So, and other people know that too. It's like, boy, I better not push any buttons with Nancy. I don't want to have her get mad, and I don't want to have a big problem with her. So there's a problem where you've got a problem with your patience here. So this is something that other people know and you know. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you think, well, that's their problem. If they can't deal with me the way I am, then that's their problem. But the reality is, as you start growing and progressing, you're going to start to realize that it's not their problem. It's not your problem either. It's something that you need to overcome, because obviously if you are impatient with others all the time, or you don't like being around people, that's going to impact your career. I watched the Today Show. I don't know if you watched that or not, but there was a woman that was like this, that she did not like people. She was kind of impatient with people. And so she decided that she wanted to make a change, and she wanted to change herself. And, you know, a lot of people think, well, you can't change that. It's a basic attribute that you have. But the reality is, she was able to do that. She started changing the way that she thought of things. She started changing the way that she did things. She was able to change herself completely within like a year and a half. It took time. But you know what? She changed herself, and she found this wonderful man that she got married with, and they're real happy now, and they have some children and stuff. So I just want to tell you that you can empower yourself through this. So that's something. Now, you don't have to have a tarot reading to be able to do any of these things in these quadrants. But a tarot reading is a tool that you can use either for yourself, or you can have other people. I know a really good tarot reader. Her name is Nadia, and I watch her quite often. She's actually what I would consider a mentor. I'll put her link in there. If you want to have someone that's really good that can help you, you may think, well, Bob, why can't you read for me? You look like you read tarot cards. You know what? I work every day and by the time I get home, I'm really tired. So I don't have the energy to be able to do that. I'd love to help you, but I just don't have the energy to do it. But the good news is I can recommend Nadia, and I'll put her link in there, and you can book a reading with her, and she'll be able to help you. And she'll be able to help you to answer these questions, like this thing here about what can you do to improve yourself, or what about this thing about what other people may know and you may not know. She can answer these kinds of questions for you. She can help you with all of these quadrants. So the idea of Johares window is, as you expand out this window and you improve and you grow, you improve yourself and you grow, and you're able to do more things. So that's the beauty of Johares window. Last time we worked on this card here. If you remember this card here, we worked on this 5 of Cups. And I'm showing you this here so you can see these two together. Let's take a scenario with the 5 of Cups. So let's say that you had a reading with Nadia, and she says, I see that you feel like you're really trapped. And that's what this card means with the cup. See how the woman feels like she's trapped inside the cup? That's actually one of my tarot cards that I designed myself. But that's what the meaning is, and it's real clear because the woman's stuck in the cup, right? It's pretty literal, and that's why I designed it that way. I will be going through and explaining some of these cards. I'm going to go through all of my cards and show you each one, and I'm going to give you why I created it, why I chose the colors I did, and why I used that. Why did I put that person that way? What was the reason behind it? Well, you can see really obviously on this one I did with the Five of Cups, that I did that because the Five of Cups means that you feel trapped in a situation. So, and something I've recently learned, see, I learn a lot by watching other people. I like to see when they read the cards, and I learn from them. Like Nadia was doing a reading, and she was explaining how the Five of Cups is talking about that across all of the different quadrants of pentacles, cups, swords, and what's the other one? Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind here. So, we're just wands. I think it's wands. Okay. So anyway, you get the idea. So that's how Johares window can help you with. That's how you can use the tarot to use Johares window to help you. And that's how using someone else, or you can do the reading yourself. I'll put a link in there. Last time I talked about this book that I have. I don't know where I put, oh, it's in here. It's inside this case. I showed that in the other video, so I'm not going to show it here, but it's a book that I used when I was learning to read the tarot, and I also still use it now. I'm not good like some of these readers like Nadia that can just look at that card and bam, I know what that is. I don't have that much knowledge of that because I don't do it that often to be able to take it within me. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and look at what I did on that, what my next plan here for this. So I'm going to show you a technique that I use when I'm evaluating tarot cards myself, when I'm reading for myself. So if we I'm going to draw a woman's face here, and I'm going to explain why I did that here in a minute. Let's see, I'm going to put a little bit of hair on there, Okay, this doesn't have to be something real fancy, but I was watching one of Nadia's videos, and she showed this, I think it was an oracle card, and the card was black and white, but it showed a woman that was relatively happy. And on this video, she was asking people that watched, she wanted them to kind of try to use their intuition. And I did, and I wanted to explain to you what I had happen when I did this. So she wanted to know, well, what do you see in this card? Well, the card was black and white, so there wasn't any color to give you a clue as to what this card would mean. But so on the surface, I could see that she wondered, do you see a woman that's having problems, she's at a turning point, or do you see someone that's happy with their life and things are going well? So the first thing I felt inside when I analyzed this card, I'm sorry, this is a poor representation of the card, but I'm trying to get an idea across here, not be a masterful drawing here. I saw that she was happy, and she was happy with her life, but I want to tell you this, I wanted to talk about this new technique that I did. And so I closed my eyes and I asked my guides, what can you tell me about this card? And I wanted to tell you what they came back with, and it was really something that kind of surprised me. I wasn't expecting it, which is what happened. So if you look at this, see that tree? I saw this tree. I don't know if I can get this to, I'd like to put this here so you can see it while can you see that tree? Okay, we'll turn it so it doesn't have the reflection. So I saw in this vision when I asked the guides to show me what is the meaning of that card, I saw something that wasn't even shown on the card at all. I saw this beautiful tree, and it had all these gold leaves on it and stuff. And my guides told me that tree is symbolic of what she can become. She's got something that's in front of her, and this tree is opportunity for her and growth. So I learned something about that card. So here on the surface, here, I'll put my iPad away here. My iPad's my friend here. I'll put that to close. On the surface, it was a black and white picture of this woman, and I told you what I got out of the front of the card. But what I saw when I closed my eyes and I asked the guides was really profound, and it showed me something about using your intuition to see what's not in front of you, to be able to see what is beyond what you see. And that's what intuition will help you do. And that was what that exercise did for me. I know that Nadia wasn't probably thinking I was going to do that. It was probably not anything related to what she was thinking, or anybody else that was participating that was in the same video that was listening to what she had to say and doing the same exercise. But I learned something from that, and it was a really profound thing that I learned. Now I'm going to show you another one of my cards, and this is the Four of Swords. Can you see this? I'm going to talk about this because it's another principle that I want to talk with you about. Okay, I'll see if I can get this to stay here. We'll see if we can put it down here so you can see it a little better. Okay, let's see if I can get it. There we go. Hopefully you can see it now. Let's see if okay. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm talking about here. I'll zoom in on it on the video. So we see a woman in the Four of Swords in my tarot card that's very distressed about something. Now, one key question when you're looking at tarot cards is not so much what is in front of you as what happened before. So the key question for this card is what happened that led her to be in this upset state. Look how upset she is. She's putting her hands on her head. There's a lot of things it could have been. It could have been something really hard at work, maybe like we talked about, someone that's afraid to do a presentation and they told her that she has to present Friday, so she's all stressed out about it. It could be that, but that's what's happened. But usually this card is a little bit stronger than that. Let's paint a different scenario. Let's say that she was in an abusive relationship. It didn't have to be physical. She could have been dating a narcissist who was always belittling her and controlling her, didn't let her see any of her friends. So she felt trapped, and finally she's taken this courage and has the courage to break away from that relationship, and she moves to another state and starts a new life there, but she's left, she's really frazzled because of that situation. Well, this card is telling you that you need to take some time and relax. You need to take some time and rest. No matter what it is that's brought you to this place, you need to take time to allow yourself to recover. Now, obviously, she's not going to want to get into another relationship because she's not ready. She needs to have time to find peace, and she needs to be able to get past that history that she had. That it was a really difficult situation for her. And so the good news about this is, look, she did break away from that situation, so that's a good thing. So there, see that wall coming up here? So she did break away from that. Now here, I'll be talking when I do my cards, but I wanted to show you something. If you look over here, these look like flowers, don't they? And what does that tell us? It tells us that she needs to look for some of the good things that she can have now that she got rid of that guy, that jerk that she was with. These are out of focus. They're out of focus because she can't see them for what they are. She can't see them for being flowers. She just sees that color there that's kind of blurry. But as she starts to rest and she starts to get control of her life, she will be able to see these more clear, and it will bring her happiness. And that's what these symbolize in my card that I did. Now for this last part of this video, I want to talk to you about, if you want to create your own tarot deck, don't feel like you have to stick to the basics of what the tarot is, the Hanged Man, the Four of Cups. You don't have to stick to that. You can make a tarot deck completely of unique things. Like you could make a tarot of the Peacock card. Wouldn't that be fun to make a Peacock card? The Peacock. And so we would look at that Peacock. Let's see if I can get that to hold so I can talk. Okay. Oh, there we go. So what would the Peacock card mean if we created this Peacock card, the Peacock at the top? Really vibrant, right? The Peacock. What does that mean? Well, notice in the card, look at what's behind the Peacock. It's the sun. So this card is telling the person that you're reading for that they need to look for enlightenment. They need to listen to their guides. See the guides trying to talk to the Peacock back here? Look how it's coming through the pretty clouds and coming to the Peacock. Also, something I would think on this card that's different on any of the other tarot cards is this is a card that tells you that you need to focus on your inner beauty. Don't feel bad about yourself. Look for the good qualities that you have. Maybe you've been telling yourself negative talk. You know, we call that in psychology. What do we call that? It's called self-talk, but it's what you actually tell yourself. Like if you're telling yourself, oh, you're such an idiot. You really messed up when you went to talk to your boss. You stumbled on your words, and he probably thinks that you're an idiot now. See how that self-talk is making you feel bad about yourself? So here's an example of what the Peacock would tell you to do. The Peacock would tell you, you know, I'm really proud of you for going in there. See that all this knowledge is coming from your guides. I'm really proud of you for making a step to go in and talk to your boss. You know, that showed him that you were really forthright. It showed him that you're serious about your job and that you want to do a good job. Yeah, you stumbled on a few things, but you know what? It's scary when you were in there. So see the difference in how that talk to yourself is from the negative self-talk? That's what the Peacock card says. And you know what? You could there's 72 cards in a tarot deck. You could make 72 cards of all these interesting things there aren't in a normal tarot deck. So you could create your own tarot deck, Sam's tarot deck, or Julie's tarot deck, and your tarot deck would be different than anybody else's in the world. How unique is that? Well, you know what? It is really hot out here. I'm in the garage. This is where I do my projects and stuff, and Yeah, I'm sweating because it's so hot out here, but I wanted to take a minute and give you these pointers. I hope you like the video, and if you like the video, share it with your friends. Now, I'm going to put a couple of links in this video. I'm going to put Najia's link, my mentor that I learned how to read the tarot from, and she does tarot readings, so I'm going to put her link in there in this video. So if you want to have a tarot reading, I would highly recommend her. And the other thing I'm going to put is I'm going to put the website that I used when I was learning how to read the tarot. So you already know I created my own tarot deck, and I use that deck. I use that deck for my own tarot readings, or I read for other people sometimes, but not often. I usually just read for myself and things. But you know what? There's situations where I can't read for myself because I'm too close to a difficult situation or a stressful situation, and I need to reach out to get input from someone else who's got the gift. So sometimes you have to have other people help you with reading. They can help you maybe see insights that you don't see yourself. Remember, we talked about Johares' window, and here in our discussion today we talked about that.